Okay, I tried recording this earlier. I had to leave, and for some reason, the video stopped completely. I had paused it. So let's try this again. Hey, this video is going up on YouTube with no editing, so please don't hate me. But this isn't also my normal content at all, not even close. This is explicitly for my Tablestuck group, which is just D&D, but completely different. So, I mean, if you're trying to learn how to play Tablestuck, then you can continue to chill here, I guess, but, so, you guys have been having trouble a little with making your character sheets, and you've been telling me that this instruction is a little too dense, which is fine, you know, it's fine. Now, what I'm trying to do is make this a little easier for you. So first, I'm going to show you some dice. This is a D6. Everything's going to be inverted because I'm just using my computer camera. But as you can see, it has 6 sides. This is a D10. It has 10 sides. See that? There's 10 whole sides. May say 0, but that really means 10. This is D12, I think. I normally don't use this dice, but yeah, I think it's a D12. So it's got 12 sides. It's the highest I could find, so I assumed it was a D12. This is a D4. It's got 4 sides. 4 points. You're gonna roll it. It's gonna stick up like that, and you're gonna be like, "Ah, that's my number right there." This is a D20. It's got. Please focus. Oh, whatever. It's got 20 sides. 20 whole sides. Real quick, if you roll a D1, you fail. Absolutely, there might be a punishment there, such as you fall, you hit your head, you take 2 damage. It's a critical fail. Here they call it something else, but I'm just going to call it a critical fail. And a D and a 20 is a critical success, which means you do it, whatever you were trying to do, you do it, but so much better than you wanted to. This could get you critical damage, or you could just, like, accidentally kill a bad dude. It all depends on the situation. Sometimes you can get, like, experience or whatever, you know, go up a level. This is a percentage dice. It's like a D10, but it has percentages on it, which is used for certain battles, etc. This is a D8. It has 8 sides. 8 whole sides. So yeah, those are what you will be using. Of course, you don't have to. If you don't have them, just let me know and I'll roll for you, seeing as I will also be rolling for you guys in the game, I believe. It all depends. And so first, your character's personality. Your character's personality will impact the game. I am making these lands, I'm making your denizens and all that, the challengers and such, all going to be part of, reflective of your character's personality. This one is something that they wrote down, but I still think would be very helpful for me personally. Write down 3 things about your character. 2 of them will be positive, and 1 of them will be negative. Such as your character is funny, they're a nice person, but they hate dogs. Something that really gives you some meat to your character. It doesn't even have to be something like that. It could be something really stupid, like they kick open doors all the time and break doors. I don't know, they smash your windows open on a daily basis. And then please, if your character does have an intense backstory that I do, it would be nice if you could tell me. It would definitely help with, again, fleshing out the story. Second, we're going to move on to traits. Traits is something, each character has 6 traits. And you will be rolling to figure out what the stats on these traits are. And the traits are pretty self-explanatory. Strength, how strong you are. Can you lift that table? Maybe. It depends on how strong you are. So, all of these can be buffs, or the opposite of a buff, which I can't think of that right now. But for the most part, it'll be pretty easy. So that's strength. Fortitude is a character's physical stamina and general force of will. It's good for determining a character's vitality. A vitality is your health. How many hits can you take before going down, etc. And so that's generally that. And it can also be a mental fortitude. There might be some cool, snazzy brain stuff going down. And you know, if someone's trying to manipulate you and control your mind, if you have a lot of fortitude, I might just say screw it and then let you continue going. So there's definitely that. And agility. And agility defines a character's physical speed and general finesse. You need it if you're going to use ranged weapons, such as bows, arrows, throwing knives, throwing axes, etc. Or if you're like, I want to climb this mountain, I'm going to be like, please make an agility check. And so you might need that. It depends on the type of character you're going to have. Again, I would suggest going back to the kind of character you're using when you're determining all of these. Oh, somebody just selected the entire document. Please don't cross it out. I need to be able to read this. Oh, never mind. They unselected it. We're on intellect. It's your smarts. How smart are you? It can be horribly low, or it can be really, really high. I would suggest having a higher intellect, or at least average. I don't want you to have to walk around babbling gibberish, because that just makes it hard on everyone, and your server player will probably want to kill you. And I might... Nah, I'll probably be fine. I had to deal with people like that before in D&D groups. Imagination. Your mental ingenuity and general creativity. You're gonna need a lot of... You're gonna need imagination. Like, it's just a given. Absolutely, imagination is for when you create items, when you alchemize them, which is basically just making new items out of two old items. It's really all... It depends. But for the most part, imagination's pretty important. I believe CrossFit people get an imagination bonus, but don't quote me on that. We'll get to that soon. Charm! It's your charm! It's how well... If you're trying to romance a barkeep and you don't have any charm, he'll probably throw you out and then spread rumors. Mom, stop making faces behind the camera!
Isn't charm the same like charisma?
Yeah, charm is just charisma. This is all just a Homestuck version of everything.
How much people like you, how well you can coerce and talk people into doing things.
Yeah, but some of these people have never played a D&D game and they don't know what it is.
I was just making sure I knew what the hell it was.
Okay, that's my mom, everyone. And to determine these trait ratings and modifiers, they have some recommended ones that you can use. And if so, one second, let me pull up my other thing. If I pull up the character sheet, your trait rating, it'll automatically have modifications. So you just put the ratings in, and they have some calculated stuff. So please don't mess with the modification one. They already have the math all set up for everything. So just put it into your thing, and it'll immediately start working on that. If you want to generate the trait ratings and not use the provided set, you'd roll 6d20. You see this d20 that I told you guys about? You'd roll this 6 times. And then you would remove your lowest one. So if you rolled a bunch of higher numbers and then you rolled a 1, just remove the 1. And then it's not really doing much, but you will remove your lowest one, and then you add them all up, and then you have your trait ratings. That's it. And then just stick those in there, and there's trait modifiers, and it'll be pluses or bonuses. They're basically like bonuses, so if I tell you roll a charm check, and then you have like a plus 90 to charm, you'll get plus 4 to that, so plus 4 to whatever you rolled. As for the rest of your character sheet, your chum handle is 2 words. The first word is lowercase, the second word is uppercase, and while they do for the most part follow a pattern of GCAT, you don't have to. I don't care much, just as we're not following the four-letter first name rule for kids, because I'm lazy and I don't care. Okay, and then we move on to Lunar Sway and Classpect. A Lunar Sway is whether you dream on Prospect or Durse. And I would suggest looking that up on Wiki or whatever, but for the most part, it doesn't affect you all that much. Class specs definitely affect you a little bit more in here, and I could be wrong about the dreaming stuff. I haven't really read up on that too much. Most of this I'm just going through with you guys right now. Boon dollars and experience. So, XP and B are to track experience points and boon dollars. They start at 0 and will increase over time. So I'll give you boon dollars, which are, I don't remember what they do. But experience definitely helps you level up and climb rungs. Trait ratings and modifiers. Okay. Okay, you guys know what that is. Independent values. Okay, so there's independent values on the table. The table is made up of character stats that aren't determined by other sections of the character sheet. Gel viscosity is your maximum vitality. Okay. A character's starting gel viscosity at rung 0, which is where you all will be starting out, which is like level 1, because you climb rungs as you continuously go up the thing and you get more experience. It's 100 plus whatever your fortitude modifier is. For example, if your fortitude modifier is +2, then it would be 120. So it's your fortitude modifier times 10, actually. So whatever it is, times 10. If it's -2, then it would be 80. It's just how it is. So it's increased every time that you move up the echelon, and there will be more on the echelon later, which is the rungs that you climb. You climb up the echelon. It's a Homestuck thing. Vitality is just your health, and it decreases when you take damage, increases when you're healed. Vitality cannot exceed your gel viscosity. So, vitality and gel viscosity are very similar. Luck points is to track a character's current and maximum luck points. Your maximum is 3, and you begin with 0 luck point. 1 luck point is gained for every long rest, and you can use luck points to re-roll or null an unfavorable roll or create a favorable roll, which I can explain later in a different video. This one we're just going over character sheets. Doors are slamming because I decided to film this in the living room. And then we're on to dependent values. So these are... Oh, please scroll properly. Values to the right of the trait value and modifier table is the dependent values. This is made up of the character sheet stats and they're determined by other sections of the character sheet, except for the equilateral run. All of them, except for the equilateral run, are automatically calculated provided on the provided character sheet. So they'll automatically be done for you. Avoidance value is 10 plus agility modifier and is a value used to determine whether you're capable of dodging opponent's attacks. Can you dodge the attack? You'll figure out with your avoidance value. That's all it is. Awareness is... Oh, that's just perception. If you don't know what perception is in D&D, it's basically, if there's like... Say there's like a goblin in the bush just waiting to attack you, I'd ask you to make a perception check, you'd roll, and you would add whatever you roll on the d20, plus your passive perception. And so that's what this is, that's what awareness is. Again, this is all just based on Homestuck, which they do have a little section in the beginning that does explain what Homestuck is to those who don't know, and I would definitely suggest you read that, seeing as I'm not willing to give you a rundown of Homestuck. It's way too long. Defense is the total of resistance of all of your equipment. So you start with like 0 on all of your equipment unless you decide to make your character like permanently wear knight armor or something. So your defense is pretty crappy right now. If the sum is less than your fortitude modifier, then use your fortitude modifier instead. So for right now you're going to be using your fortitude modifier, but when you get better resistance, better gear that gives you better resistance, I'd suggest just switching that out. I thought it said Fortnite. So there's a joke for the video that's already really long. Have fun watching this, guys. I hope it's not as horrible to read as I think it is. Hi guys, I took a drink of water and choked. It wasn't water, it was Snapple. But
don't cry. It's okay.
I choked on Snapple!
Don't cry.
Ah! Okay. The Ecolator run is determined by your total experience, like I said. You'll calculate it based on how much experience you have. But also, I might just do it for you, because, I can. Equipment time! Equipment. I'm clapping. So, equipment. This is gonna take forever to upload to YouTube, but... it's used to it tracks the equipment on your character, such as, whatever shirts they're wearing. Are they wearing glasses, shoes, pants? If they're not wearing anything, I guess you can have them run around naked. But if they are wearing something, please put it on, and please do update it when you change your character's clothes. Oh god, there's still Snapple coming up. It's used for tracking equipment and what bonuses. So later on, you can get bonuses, such as like bonuses to strength, charisma. You know, if you wear a really sexy pair of shoes, I'll give you like plus 10 charisma. I'm not a coward. Feet are good. I'm joking. I'm joking. But, you can fill it with any kind of clothing your character would wear, but they have no effects. 0 res. I don't know what res is. What is res? I don't know what that... Oh, defense. I think they meant defense. I think they meant defense. Grist cash is just how much grist you have. You get grist by defeating enemies and completing challenges and stuff that I set out for you. But it'll be 0 for now. For now, at least. This lighting really just makes my acne stand out. The Sylladex. Your Sylladex is how you captcha-log things. Have I been saying that? Have I said that word yet? Probably, but I probably haven't explained it to you. Captcha-logging, so captcha-log cards are these little cards that you put in your Sylladex. And a captcha-log card would take any item you have, like this dice, and it would put it, it'll put it in the card, and it will no longer weigh as much as the dice, it'll just weigh as much as the card, and you can pull it out with your fetch modus. But the Sylladex page is just what you have. It tracks your captcha-log cards. It's where you store your captcha-log cards. You're all gonna probably start with 4. I might decide to start you with more or less. Your fetch modus. Okay, so your fetch modus. It's how you retrieve things from the cards. And some people have more complicated fetch modi or less complicated fetch modi. The most easy fetch modus is just where you have the cards and you can pull anything out at once. But that's boring, and some people want to have different ones. So I think somebody said that they wanted a hash map one. Something like that. But that one's basically a bunch of math for whatever you captcha log. And then, sometimes, certain captcha logs will, if it's already full, it'll eject one thing, and it'll ricochet throughout your room, possibly destroy your house, or possibly kill you. So, I gotta pause. Okay, I have been kicked out of the living room, so I will continue recording in my room. It's really messy. It's really messy. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Where were we? We were at fetch mode, right? And I was explaining them. Yeah, I just explained how to eject. Okay. So, please don't eject it. If you can avoid it, please do. But if you forget, it'll be fun for everyone. It'll just not be fun for you when you get injured, maybe, or when you break your house. Which is the not fun part, seeing as it costs grist to rebuild it. I have to remove all my dice. Oh yeah, I also forgot to show you, this is also what a D6 can look like. Maybe not this big, maybe not this foam, but it can have the dots on it. So if you want to just use a D6 like that, you can. Or you can just use a random number generator and put it between 120 or 1 whatever. I'm not the boss of you. Strife specifics. Okay, the strife specifics is a little important. I won't be explaining strife mechanics right now. I can explain them later if you need. Like I said, I'm only doing character stuff today. So, the light's a little... Yeah. It works though, the lighting's much better in here. I don't look as yellow. The strife specifics. It's the weapon you used to fight with. Some people fight with hammers, some people fight with guns, some people fight with swords. Anything can be a strife specific if you try hard enough and you really, really want it to be. Just go at it, have fun. Whatever. You only have so many strife cards. It can really be anything. I believe you start out with 1 strife card. Y'all only get 1 strife card to start, and it'll be 1 kind of strife specific. And then, you know, it can change later. You can find more cards like that, etc. But it takes it out of your cards, out of your what's it called? Out of your Sylladex. So it takes it so it's no longer bogging up the card in your Sylladex, and it's now a strife weapon. So it's a completely different mechanic from syllabi and stuff. Strife card. Yeah, you want... Mark 1 strife specific as unallocated, and fill in the strife card tracker with your starting strife card total. It'll be 1 unless I say otherwise, which I'd suggest asking me. And hi, Baba! My mom just let my dog in. Please don't pee on anything. Here, let me grab your chew toy, bub. You want it? You want it? Okay, please play with that and not the rest of my toys. Stuffed animals, etc. This is such a long video. I'm so sorry, guys. Tables on the left to the stripe portfolio are strife card tables. Their static damage and their bonus damage and any effects they might have while equipped. So you're just going to put in your static... Hi, kitty. This is my cat, Pearl. Say hi to her. Say hi to the audience. Yeah, okay. I'm going to need you to not do that right now. I'm recording. Please don't fight. I'm doing things. Yeah, I know. Not right now, Mama. I'll pet you later, but... I'm just going to continue explaining with cat in frame because I'm too lazy to move her again. Yeah, there's an entire thing on stress specify and strife cards, etc. But when you allocate a weapon, you fill it with the information that your DM will provide. Your DM in this case is me if you hadn't figured it out. Unless you're watching this for like a ref for something else, at which point, why watch this video? I don't know. Prospect is for your prospect dream self. Not everyone will have a prospect dream self. Some of you will have a Durst dream self. And if you ask me really nicely and maybe slip me a couple bucks under the table, I might let you have both. But that's a very special privilege, and it really all depends on what's going on and what do we need. Some of this is hard to read just because so many people try to edit it, and it's like, please keep your weird things out. If your dream self's on Durst, you can hide the prospect page just so you don't have to deal with it because you won't be messing with it. Your dream self has a completely different Sylladex, strife portfolio, and stuff from your waking self. So if you have a cool little trinket on your waking self and you're like, whoa, I can't wait to use this when I'm asleep. Cass, whatever you're doing, stop doing it. Yeah, don't give me that innocent look. You won't be able to use it if you're in your dream self. I explained that. And Durst is the exact same. Most stats are the same as the rest of the character sheet, except for your vitality, luck points, and magic BS. This is because your dream self has its own independent vitality, luck points, and magic BS. Note the maximum is the same. Your dream self also has their own Sylladex strife portfolio separate from your waking self, like I said. But that part might be important. And now we're moving on to the concept of homes. How much more do we have of this? Okay, so we're going to talk about sways soon, but first we got to get the homes, then we're going to talk about dream selves, then aspects, and then classes. And then we're done! And you can read about echoladders and stuff yourself, because I might explain that later. I might just make a bunch of different videos for the big different chapters and stuff. But, right now we're on homes, so we're going to talk about your houses, y'all. This is an important thing that you need to think about when you make stuff. So, house building. Who knew? You have to have you have to create a home for your character to be stuck in. When you enter the game, you're going to keep your house. Your house is going to teleport with you onto your land. So you gotta think about how you're going to build your house. The space player probably lives in a similar tower to Jade and Kanaya, near a volcano and a frog temple. Unless you choose not to do it, but it would make things easier to live near the frog temple and a volcano, just because that's the way it is. But if you really don't want to, let me know and I can arrange something. Maybe I'll put it with a time player. But yeah, a large section of the game will be taking place in your own home. It's why it's called Homestuck! Wow! So you have to flesh it out properly. Maybe make like a land map, or if you really want to leave it up to me, I can make it. I'm a little lazy though, so we'll see how it is. And then we're going to talk about house sizes. For example, Dave's apartment is small, John's house is medium, Rose's mansion is large, and Jade's tower is huge. So those are all different places. The tower, you know, it really all depends, and it will it'll change the way your game is played. So a small home is 1 floor, 4 to 6 rooms. A medium home is 1 to 2 floor, 6 to 10 rooms. Large is 2 to 4 floors, 10 to 16 rooms, or 6 to 10 large rooms. Big boys. Big boys. And, oh god, that's too far. A huge home is made of 4 floors or over. Yeah, it says over 4 floors, so I said that wrong. And over 12 rooms. Huge homes are reserved for the space player's tower. So, sorry for people who really wanted to have, like, a humongous mansion. Space players only, baby! We will need a space player and a time player, like, that's required for any session to work out properly, so, definitely talk about that. Cass, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Whatever you're doing, stop doing it. I know, I don't have your dog bed, but last time we had your dog bed, it got chewed up and destroyed. Okay, and then you have guardians. Okay, so in Homestuck, you have a guardian or a lucis. This is your parental figure. If you want to have more than one, please consult me. Most people only have one, and you're going to need to think about the guardian's personality and the relationship. Also, let me know this, because I will probably be doing your thing. The absence of a guardian can play into your character as much as, like, actually having one. Some characters just don't have one, or they died before they were born, which can lead to backstory. Especially since all your characters are adopted! Wow, they crashed in on meteors. An ectobiologist is probably going to make that. I don't know how that's going to work in here, but one of you is going to be the ectobiologist, so have fun with that. So, your house artifacts. If you don't know, any item is considered an artifact. This is an artifact. This is also an artifact. Any item that is not alive is an artifact. So, you're going to want to put artifacts in your room. It's going to be good for prototyping your sprites. Definitely think about things that you like or dislike, or that your guardian likes or dislikes. And try to base the artifacts of the house around, like, a theme. John's dad really liked clowns, so there were a bunch of clowns. Rose's mom liked wizards, so there were wizards. Dave, bro really liked sex puppets. I'm not gonna lie. He liked puppets. Also, someone put it in, so it says uncomfortably sexual puppets with vivaciously velvety plump puppet rumps. If you've never seen a Smuppet, consider yourself lucky. It haunts my dreams. Make sure to also have weapons around, if you're interested in having them. If you're gonna have artifacts in the house, please run it by your DM just so that they know. Your character's room is the most important part. It's where you start out, and it's where a lot of stuff's gonna be taking place, and it's going to really reflect who you are, who your character is as a person. It'll have their likes, their interests, their hobbies. Like, John had posters of his favorite movies, magic chest, pranking supplies. Dave had dead things in jars. Turntables, photos taken with his Polaroid camera. Shoot me. Rose had knitting supplies, posters of horror terrors, and the violin. Also important to know, when your dream self dies, so you know how your dream self and your waking self are both different people? Well, when your waking self falls asleep, your dream self's gonna wake up, and it goes the other way around. And so that's every time you dream, until your dream self gets killed off, or your waking self gets killed off. Then you're haunted by nightmares of horror terrors, which are great beings that live on the edge of our universe and are absolutely terrifying and will suck the soul out of you. The only way to avoid this is if you god tier, at which point you'll just have normal dreams. But yeah, horror terrors are pretty bad. Pretty crappy to be around. My dog's dead. Your character's room must also include a computer, whether it be a desktop or a laptop, just to interact with people, and also to have the game. It's discs, man. We're talking about dream sleep now, which I think I already said some of this. Yeah, so you'll either begin on Propspit or Durst, which is decided by your lunar sway. So your lunar sway, I'm just going to read these out loud because it's very good just to reiterate these. Propspit dreamers are typically optimistic, live in the moment. They value their emotions and instincts and will often make choices based on them. They tend to solve problems with creative solutions. Propspit dreamers tend to be trusting and don't care about what other people think of them. Durst dreamers are typically pessimistic and they think ahead. They value logic and reasoning and will often make choices based on them. They tend to solve problems with logic. Durst dreamers also tend to be more skeptical and aren't very open with others. This is taken from the extended Zodiac quiz. So, okay, your inventory. We're almost done here, guys. This is it. This is the last part. You're going to do your inventory, the Flying Awakening, and then we're done. At a 40-minute video! This is going to take forever to upload, so I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. But, okay, your inventory, your dream self has a separate inventory from your waking self. And your dream self starts with no Sylladex or Strife specify, and they have no access to the artifacts and weapons of your character's waking self. They begin wearing Propspit garb or Durst garb, which they have applied to the torso, legs, feet. Those are plus 10 to defense, so just mark those in, please. Are they pre-marked, actually? They're not marked in, so please mark those in. Pretty please. Please mark those in if you have the time. Flying. Your dream self can fly. Within a proximity of the moon. As they get farther away, their flying will continue to slow until they can't fly out any further. You can also fly when you god tier, which is kind of interesting. An awakening. in order for you to play your dream self, you have to awaken. Whether or not your dream self is awakened is determined by me. So I'll let you know based on the character. DM will decide when they want your dream self to awaken, or if they do not begin awaken. If they don't begin awakened, I think you have to be awakened by the beginning of the game. But yes, that is the entirety of how to make your character. Any more questions, please come to me. Leave questions in the comments if you're not part of my Discord group. Otherwise, that's it. Sorry for the long video. Bye!